And now, Slash Base Roll presents The Running Riot. This cast brought to you by Mr. Pibb, get a fucking PhD. And by Heston's Ape Away, the original monkey repellent. Get your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape. The only monkey repellent with DEET. This episode, the boys recap the last 2 days of PAX with surprisingly few references to dangling bits or nether regions. Also talk of Greg Hastings being the man. All this plus the usual ramblings from the dark, moist recesses of their dirty minds straight into your ears. And now, The Running Riot with P. Billy Combs. Eric, what's that smell? Bedaw. Eric, yeah, I smell it too. Powers. Dougie, that might have been me, Mitchell. And Tommy, oh god, the water won't stop, Hughes.
Oi! 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 Running Riot.
And welcome to another. You're a dick.
I'm sorry. I just think the sound of
Wait,
crayons hacking are always refreshing.
can you unofficially announce what we're sponsored by? Because that's on a ridiculously long name.
This is probably the most unofficial thing we're sponsored by. Dub Edition, other tiny writing I can't read, even though I'm about 3 inches away from the can. Monster Ballers Blend Punch Energy with a boxing glove in the middle.
Baller.
Shot collar.
Quick unofficial taste test.
20-inch blades.
And coming back from the 90s.
It tastes like carbonated
Jizz?
fruit punch.
Okay.
Or Hawaiian punch.
It says fruit punch right now. Doesn't
Yeah, it is fruit punch.
Hawaiian
I was thinking
punch.
specifically Hawaiian punch, though. So
All right.
Bringing to you number 3 of the episode 2.
Of the episode 2. All right,
the
season 2,
Season
episode
2.
3 we're going to roll with of the Running Riot.
episode 2 was like
Riot.
3 or 4 months ago. Or 6.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Days.
Fact.
Season 2, Ep 2.
Yeah, season
this is
2,
really Ep 3.
Episode 3.
Correct.
Yeah. So we're going to be recapping some shit at our last 2 days at PAX. Unfortunately, we lost the courageous Powers to a stomach illness that,
It happens.
yeah,
But
That
that's
was
all right.
passed
So I
on.
get to
that
play.
was passed on from Durs.
Super strain of the bubonic plague, the only way to describe it.
Yeah.
I get to play the media asking you guys questions about the games that you played. So
Yeah.
that'll be.
So,
Decent.
pretty much, we'll just go right down the list of fun stuff that we saw those days. Saturday, I think Guns of Icarus was the first thing that we saw.
I think we're perusing for something, and I remember seeing steampunk airships and going, ooh.
Yes.
What is this?
This can't not be interesting.
Yeah. And some dude smashing on an engine with a hammer. What
No,
the hell is
well,
this?
that, and I think the thing that caught your eyes was the 2 steampunk-esque ships midair and just careening into each other.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That was a T-bone collision going on right at that exact
That was pretty
moment.
awesome. And pretty much that one's it's on Steam now. It's $5.
$5, or you can get a 4-pack for
12.
$12.
So pretty much Dougie was the man, bought the 12 and gave us all one.
Which is
And-
good because you get 4-man teams. So
Yeah. 4-man teams, like you have a captain who steers the ship, and then pretty much everybody else guns and
no,
repairs.
the captain isn't the one that has to steer the ship. He
No,
just usually the captain should be a pilot class.
Yeah.
It's a class system. You got pilot, gunner, engineer, and he has buffs and special abilities for piloting.
Yeah.
But don't give me that look.
I don't know. I haven't played a pilot. I don't know
yeah.
what special abilities can you have as
One
a
of
pilot.
them's the Dragon's Claw, I think is what it's called. And it
Sounds
gives you
awesome.
Sounds sexual.
It gives you a crazy amount of turning. So if you need to like quick turn to get the hell out of somewhere,
Oh,
or to
nice.
like turn your ship real quick. I know the ones I still have the spyglass because I like to spot bitches.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah. I use the one that puts the smog. Like you just like it's supposed to like load your engines with like oil and shoot smog out of your engines. So if you're trying to make a getaway, as ships are running through it, they actually take damage and then they unspot and you can get out of there. And the turbo boost. They both do what I love about the game is anything that you use, there's always a negative effect with it. So if you use a super speed boost, your engines take damage.
I think that's what was happening to us the other night is because we were just cruising along and we're like, our engines keep failing. Like, what the fuck is going on?
With the spyglass, Dougie, is that affected by like the clouds and stuff in the game?
Oh yeah.
Actually, yeah. When you spot people, if they're like on the other side of a cloud and you're on the other side, you'll still see them. But the second you go through like clouds of smoke or dust or whatever, you're like unspotted. So I think your ship takes some damage though when you go through it.
Indeed.
So again, this is one of the things that I really love is just there's a positive and negative.
Positive and
effect,
negative.
like
So you really have to think about what you're doing instead of
Even
just,
as
I'm
a-
going to do this.
Even as a gunner, there's one where it gives you like 60% increased fire rate, but you have minus 20 clip size, minus 20 damage.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
so-
there's always that negative effect where you don't just get to use something,
Yeah, just
to use it to get more
will.
powerful.
Yeah.
So
The game can be pretty simple when it comes down to it. It's a fucking hoot to just.
I thought it looked complicated as shit, so I was
Although,
kind of happy to hear
as
that.
Doug was treating it last night, like as soon as I get on a gun, Doug would just be running around and be like, "Get back on the gun, Tommy!" And like, I have nothing to shoot at.
I'm the engineer of the goddamn ship, and I'm like running over there like hammering stuff. Tom's like, I have nothing to shoot at except for the dude lighting our tits up, which is why I'm running around repairing everything.
Yeah, but he'd be on the opposite side of me.
Get on another gun. There's guns everywhere.
You'd always tell me, "Get back on the gun, Tommy." Like,
Should have been the captain, Dougie, and then you could have told him what to do.
do.
you have to use like port and starboard to let them know where to go. Dougie.
Oh
No,
no,
use
we were-
right and left.
No,
No,
it
this
was-
is steampunk. They don't use that.
Yeah, it was just like 1 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
No, you were doing time. I was right in front of us, behind us. You were going jet pilot, okay? He's over there going like 1800s on us with his port and starboard.
Talk to me, Goose.
I have a need. And not really speed per se.
Ghost Rider, this is Mustang 4. Remaining Migs are bugging out. Requesting flyby. Negative Ghost Rider, patterns full.
That's
It'd be great
something
if that
that
actually meant something in the game.
yeah, I was just gonna say that is an example of something you'll never hear. in Guns of-
And then you realize that the ship that you're on at max speed is probably moving like 10 miles an hour.
That one, dude, when Billy and I were playing, I used the Squid, which is a super speed ship, and you just go like shooting around people.
Yeah, but the
like,
one that we were
flamethrower
on,
'em to death.
the one that we were on the last couple games that I played was the Galleon. That thing is.
Yeah.
There's 3 decks,
Yeah.
and then the bottom deck is 4 massive guns. Middle deck has got I think 2, and then
No, middle deck has one side gun,
that's
and the main engine.
Yeah.
But,
4
yeah,
engines.
It just the more you play and the more little things that you find out,
Yeah,
it just makes it better and better.
Nice.
Like damage types with certain guns and knowing those, being able to tell what guns that they're using based on what they're shooting back at you, so you know whether to be above or below them. Like if they have a flamethrower, you want to sit above them because then they can only do damage to your engines and your guns. They can't hurt your balloon.
Yeah, which
Which the flamethrower goes in there, hits your balloon, you're completely screwed, and then you just sink like a bag of shit.
yeah. That's what I thought would be the fun part of the game. I thought there would be more animation to the balloon like caving, but you just like it just zooms out and it shows you the balloon just blowing up.
Well,
like I just wanted my guy to be like, "Ah!"
like jumping out of a
just like
fucking
falling
dirigible.
for minutes on end. Oh my god!
That would be
Hindenburg
awesome.
too.
Though. Billy and I were actually talking. It would be sweet because one of the weapons is a javelin, or it's a
It's a
javelin.
toe hook, isn't it?
Yeah, you hit it right into their side and it like reels them in, so you can like really light their tits up. And I just thought it'd be great if you could have a bunch of AI like running around on your ship, and then when you board it, like they all start like running over and trying to take over the other ship.
Double barrel sawed-off shotguns just like jumping over all the time. Yeah.
And you just see like a bunch of freaking what's his name? Bruce Campbell's from Evil Dead, just like da da da, like that'd be sweet.
This is my boomstick.
Yeah, no, that one's a blast. And
Yeah,
just-
that was Muse Games, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just love the fact that you have to use a lot of teamwork. It's something that's missing in a lot of games.
Yeah. Playing with a bunch of noobs, it's not so much fun, but
yeah, that's the only
you
problem
and
with
3 of your
teamwork
buddies,
games.
it's a fucking hoot.
Yeah, as long as people have voice chat, though, being a noob doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You just tell 'em,
that's
shoot stuff and repair your guns.
That's key. I would not try and play that game if you didn't have voice chat because there's trying to play and type in impossible,
Yeah.
and nobody ever fucking pays attention to the board.
You don't have
anyways.
time.
You know, yeah.
When your ship's getting lit up and your guns are down and your balloon's out and your engine's failed and you're just
That-
sinking to the earth.
That was the cool thing is that it also picks up like this kind of HUD around the screen showing you like what's at what health.
Yeah, yep.
And I just remember at one
nice.
point backing off the gun and just looking, everything's red! What the fuck?
And we are careening towards the ground.
Yeah.
Faster than the ship can travel.
I think one of the early games that I played, it was like
It's called falling
me,
speed.
It was like me and another dude and 2 AI. And apparently the AI aren't smart enough to
No.
steer the ship. So at one point, the thing was going full tilt, and I was like, "Huh, there's a guy over there. Hey, maybe we should turn." Like I got into a chat, and I was like, "Hey, maybe we should turn 9 o'clock. There's an enemy. I spotted him." Guy doesn't say anything back, and I'm looking around the ship. I was like, "Where the fuck is this guy?" Go up all the way to the top where the fucking wheel is. Nobody's manning their ship, and I was like, "Oh, there's a wall."
Oh!
That's
Ship
awesome.
explodes.
It was awesome. But that's real fun. And then also on Saturday, we played Hawken, which I'm not going to knock too much, but to put it in simplest terms, it's Mech Warrior. It's a new Mech Warrior.
It's a faster.
It's a
Mech
faster
Warrior,
Mech Warrior.
which almost Call of Mech Warrior.
Call it
I
Mech
like that.
Warrior.
Mech-of-Duty?
Mech-of-Duty.
Nah, that sounds very Middle Eastern.
I almost think even just that slight little Mech-of-Duty.
Mech-of-Duty is probably better.
I even think just that little speed increase made it like that much better.
Yeah, I actually downloaded. I think it's open beta. I don't think it's closed. I'm pretty sure it's open beta.
I think it's open too. Yep.
I played it some, and you get used to it. Sometimes it's frustrating though, because when a guy starts getting away, it's hard to close distance.
Yes.
Because you both moving at pretty much the same speed. So, but I think that might have just been because everybody has the same mech, but.
Oh yeah, because I think some of them did have different speeds when we played on the floor.
Yeah, did you know there was a repair mode?
Nope.
When you
No.
take a shitload of damage, you could just hide and then just like start repairing or something.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that guy
I
didn't
actually
it.
saw that when somebody was playing. He like was about to go down, and he just got down, and he like dropped down into like this little like box. He just like turned into
Yeah.
like a little like square and just started like repairing himself. And then the guy just came down and shit on him anyways. He didn't care. But yeah,
That's what happened to me minus
Hey, I
the
came
repair
in
boat.
second.
Repair boat. Bar.
If it wasn't
I
for that
came
damn
in
recruit hot
11th.
dog, recruit hot dog was killing it, dude. He had like 15 kills.
Damn. I had like
Hot
4.
dog. Those are like the cheesiest names ever. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. Little.
It was fun.
You said it's
Yeah, it
open
was
beta
fun.
though.
Yeah, it was open.
Yeah.
Probably give it a download. It looked fun.
Yeah.
The graphics seemed decent.
No, the graphics are
Yeah.
definitely decent. Definitely very sci-fi. Obviously with the mechs, but
It's what
even
I
the levels
imagine,
are what you see when you.
I forget what it was called.
And, like,
the
Blade
Transformer
Runner.
homeworld to look like.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think
Just
they
like a
went-
bunch of. This is the only thing that bugged me is that you're trying to move around. They seem to be like these tiny little spires just sticking out of nowhere that you just run into and then you just dead stop and you're like, oh fucking hang, try and move around it.
Just you.
Just me.
I was
think,
killing it,
I think that's
so.
why I came in 11th.
Out of 11.
11.
Out of
I came in
10.
11th out of 9.
Balls. 2 kids that
The
were ahead
guy
of
the
him
guy
quit.
didn't have the heart to tell me that I was actually just in a game of my own with a bunch of AI that was put on easy
On
mode.
easy.
That were put on
Dude,
Do
the-
Not Move.
Yeah. I don't know how he's getting shit on.
We must study him.
They're just shooting straight. Tommy's strafing back and forth through the bullet stream. I can't hit him.
Yeah, I mean, when I downloaded it and started playing, it seemed to move kind of slow. At least the leveling up, like getting what's the word I'm looking for here? Tommy's distracting me, of course, because he's an asshole. What?
Nothing. I just could
You're
talk.
just
I'm not
you're
trying
just
to interrupt.
browsing the internet.
Can't help it.
Mid-cast.
No, I just
So it's like I'm bored of whatever we're talking about. Let me just peruse Twitter.
Kotaku posted a tweet. It says, "This is the new horror game people are buzzing about at PAX East. It's Outlast, which we'll get to later."
or now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, so
Hard segue.
yeah, I'm
Hard
gonna,
segue.
So
that's
Hawken
not even
is.
a segue.
We're gonna talk about Outlast in a second. Let me just clear it up. So it's just basically a mech assault game. Mech warriors, they're just
Much
blasting
faster.
each other
Yeah.
with what, like
They-
guns, swords. I didn't really see.
It was
Guys
like,
gameplay.
did you play Mech Warrior?
No.
It,
I played,
it's
like,
pretty
Mech
much like
Assault
some
back on
have
the Xbox.
some have lasers, machine guns, like missiles.
Oh, so each of the
Mech
different
Warrior-
mechs are like equipped for different.
Yeah,
shit.
like there was
That
one
sounds
guy
sick.
called the Grenadier, I think, and he was just this behemoth and just had a bunch of rockets and shit. They would
I will
fire.
definitely say though that Guns of Icarus is actually more of a mech warrior than Hawken was, because it's all about taking out their weapon systems, then focusing on the disabling them
Yeah.
and then destroying
Mech
them.
Assault is
Yeah,
the game
that-
you guys are thinking of.
Yeah,
For the
It's-
original Xbox, it was great.
it's a little more Gundam wingy without the
All right.
hand-to-hand combat, but
That's
All
what.
right, so on.
Well, I was just gonna say that was different about Hawken is that there was no disabling; it was just destroyed.
Oh, indeed.
yeah, it was
That's
a
cool.
standard health system. If you're out
Probably
in
give
the
it a
open,
go.
it's one of those things just like Call of Duty. It's whoever shoots first really usually comes out on top.
Yeah, or whoever can flank fastest.
All right.
Or get a lucky missile.
Tell me about Outlast because I didn't see this game at all. Did you guys actually meet with the developers? for
Yeah,
this
we
one?
did.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, we actually will post a link that we have to.
Yeah, we have the entire demo playthrough.
Oh, nice.
it's pretty
and
awesome.
with a little bit of shaky
It-
camera when
yeah.
the dog got startled. That was pretty awesome.
It kind of
Yeah.
sucked because I didn't know that it was just one demo playthrough, and I pretty much watched the entire thing from the guy in front of us. So like everything Bedaw was doing, I was like, wait a
But
minute.
so did Bedaw. And he
Yeah.
still got free.
Yeah.
Well, that's because we didn't have sound, and then he got to put the headset on.
Yeah.
Right. 'cause
Some-
one of the guys said, like, there was a guy, he watched it through twice and he still jumped.
Yeah.
Like, he watched two people play all
So-
the way through
Yeah.
and he still got free.
So what was it then? Like,
Outlast was pretty much just there's no shooting.
It's a survival horror game.
Yeah,
is
there's
there like
just-
a storyline, or are they just
Yep,
going?
you
Yeah.
break into sneak into a mental health asylum, and
Didn't you
you're
say
like
it
a
was
reporter.
like Nazis?
No,
I don't
special forces. I thought it was related to military.
Yeah, military or
Not
something, but it
Nazis.
was
If
recent.
it's horrifying, it must be Nazis.
Yeah, but yeah, it was kind of cool. You don't have any weapons or anything like that.
Actually-
it's about movement, and like the only thing you have is your camera to use like night vision with, and you just have to keep collecting batteries to keep that going.
So you're like trying to avoid things.
Yeah,
Okay.
I kind of thought of it afterwards a little bit like Myst, but more interactive. Just because Myst, you click around and everything's really creepy, and that's the same thing. And if there were enemies in Myst, you wouldn't be fighting them; you'd be running from them.
Right.
And,
Right.
and that's kind of how I almost. I mean, maybe I don't know if they took any.
It's just
inspiration from
more
Myst,
of
it just
like
seems-
a look around, like I don't even know how to.
It's-
It's like exactly. Is it
Yeah,
exactly like
it's-
Myst? I mean, I remember playing it, but
It wasn't
no.
like
is it
It's
like just
first
purely
person move around, like
puzzle?
jump and climb up?
it
and
wasn't.
Stuff, but
It didn't seem puzzly at all.
Not-
it was just find the
not
route
pu-
that they want you to take.
well, that was the demo. I think in the game, it's going to be not puzzly in the sense of oh, here's something to solve. It's going to be puzzly in oh crap, this guy is coming at me. Look around real quick. What's the best way to get out of here?
Okay.
Like
and are you trying to travel like in a general direction the whole time?
in the demo, it was kind of
Sexual
you were forced into one path pretty much.
Well, no, I mean I just mean like, are you like trying to like escape the asylum? Or
No,
something?
you're breaking in to try and find like information.
Yeah,
Ah,
it's.
okay.
I think a lot of it's going to be story driven, and the way that they're going to really get you involved is through these crazy intense sequences where all of a sudden you're just getting freaked the hell out, and if you don't run away, I won't ruin the end of the demo for you.
Yeah, they said that they had like kind of inspired by Mirror's Edge for their like movement mechanics,
Oh,
and
indeed.
definitely could see that. Like
I'm glad they
running
said
in-
inspired by, not mimicked.
Yeah,
that would have been bad. I would
it
have
was
been
like, you could definitely see it with like jumping up into the vents and
So
stuff
it's
like
like-
that.
Is it like that fast of movement? Like you're like running around?
When
though?
they-
When
when
you're
I was-
running, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You're
just-
moving pretty
that's
fast.
not what I was
Yeah,
really
when I was-
picturing
when I was
when you
talking
guys
to
were
the guy,
talking.
it was
I
more-
thought it was
it's-
like a.
it's more of like to keep you into the flow of things, so they're gonna get you to like a really intense sequence where you just gotta like run,
Right.
and then other sequences where you're just like everything's just gonna be really creepy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
yeah, but there's we'll put a link to that in there, and you can
Yeah, I'll
just
put a link in the
watch
description.
Yeah, that was
Watch the
demo.
demo play.
that was Red Barrels.
Oh, indeed. You guys met with these guys on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, the guys that did
Well,
this,
later
they're
Saturday.
like big time
yeah.
developers.
Yeah.
They worked on Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Both the Army of Twos. They're the first two.
Yeah.
Prince
Really?
of Persia. Yeah, like these are. Yeah.
Oh, that is so cool.
What? Tommy?
Well, it's just interactive in the fact that that guy was running away in the dark, and I think that was another thing that was cool about the game is when you're using the camera and going through something that's completely pitch black, you can't see more than like 2 feet in front of you.
Yeah.
So if you walk into a room that there's no exits, you're just boned. You just have to like kind of bait him into the room and then run around and run back out the same door. But what he just did is he ran into like a utility room that had like lockers. He saw an open locker, and you can go in the locker and shut the door on yourself.
I feel like a lot of that's going to end up being scripted, though. That usually is. Like, in any game where they have cool mechanics like that, they usually designate certain places where you're going to use it, and then other times it's just like, hey, look at me, I'm hiding in a locker.
Yeah.
Like in Sons of Liberty, I think it was.
Yeah.
The Metal Gear you're talking about?
Metal Gear,
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 2.
I'm under a
Where there's
box.
Like, yeah, there's like so many things. Well, the box you could constantly use, but I remember the first level, there's like a locker, and you could like just hide in the locker, and then like look, and it was just like, oh, this is so sweet.
Look, I'm looking out of the slots
Great.
of the locker.
Great.
Yeah.
It's only used 2 or 3 times. Like there's very specific moments where you're going to use it. So.
Yeah.
It looks like it's first person, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. It looks cool.
Yeah. I don't know. Did you remember what they said they were releasing on?
PC, I think.
It looks like a
PC?
PC game, but
I mean, I played it on PC.
Yeah. Yeah, PC Steam.
Okay. Lots of games on Steam.
Yeah. Well, you get a lot of indie guys. It's like
Yeah, it's the way to do it,
Just
yeah.
get greenlit, you're good to go.
Yeah, fact.
Not that easy.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Do you know how many pages of Steam Greenlight games that there are?
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Like 60 pages. It's outrageous.
and then the guy, what was that guy saying? He needed like 100,000.
Oh yeah, Fractured Soul still,
Yeah.
which is a good shout out. Greenlight Fractured Soul because that was pretty cool.
Very cool.
Endgame Studios. Next thing that we saw was Pound, which was a Tetris. Well, not Tetris.
Now, if you didn't understand what he said,
It was Pwn.
Pwn.
it was Pwn.
PWN.
Let me say it
Pow.
again, not like a queer ball.
Pow!
Pow! Pow!
Are you saying pow? Pow!
Which is pretty much like a gaming, not like a hacker chess.
Combat hacking.
Yeah, I actually.
Hacker chess is a good way to put
Yeah,
it.
actually.
I
Yeah,
like
when
that.
we
I'm pretty
talked to
sure
him-
that's what they called it, was combat hacking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Pwn combat hacking.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I forget what movie he said, but what movie it really reminded me of, and that's what they got the idea from, was watching like all the intense hacking scenes in movies and being like, oh, what if hacking was really like this? So they got
Didn't he say
because
that
it's
in War
not.
Games?
So they were like, hey, I bet you I can make a game like this. And the thing it reminds me most of is the hacking sequence from Swordfish with Hugh
yeah.
Jackman.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's just building like the Hydra and like on the Rubik's Cube and stuff like that. And he's taking different pieces and like putting them on there.
Yeah. It's like, how disconnected from reality do you have to be, though? Because what is hacking? Hacking is freaking going onto the internet and Google searching denial of service attack script, downloading a script from like a totally shady website that probably is like gonna infect your computer with viruses, and then running said script.
Hacking
That's
has almost
all it
zero to
is.
do with actual hacking skill these days. It just has to do with whether or not you have the balls to look up the information online.
We could probably do our own game where it's literally just that, like, you look up the script, you paste it in, and hit send, and like whoever does that
War
first, like,
games.
wins the hacking battle.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
battle of the search.
But no, so
Google versus Yahoo.
I guess a better game to compare it to. Oh no, never mind. Basically, what you do in Pwn is you have like all that you start against red and blue, and you try to you pick your thing, and you have to hack certain pieces of the grid. You can only hack ones that connect to your one, so you can't just jump.
I kind of thought of it almost like Othello.
I was gonna say that
It's
yeah,
not
I thought it
quite-
was.
not quite.
But you like move to it, and then you're gonna capture adjacent pieces, as opposed to trying to get on the other side to.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how when I was looking at it and as things were moving, I kind of thought, oh, okay, sort of like Othello.
Yeah. And especially when he said, like, this game can be lost in, like, the last minute.
Yeah.
He's like, one person can be owning, and then the other person can drop, like,
Yeah.
a
Backdoor-
backdoor virus or whatever,
What it
which you
is-
can get, like, jump to the other side, and then you just,
Yeah.
like, disable all of them and kill
Yeah,
them.
it's
Yeah.
like
Oh.
Othello, except the patterns in which you can like go across in are predetermined on the board. It has little lines linking ones to it, and you have to go through that.
Yeah.
But yes, other than that,
But they have 2D. I think they also have 3D ones, which are supposed to be impossible to beat computers because they can just do way too much thinking at one time.
The guy that developed it said he played the 3D one, and he's like, I made the game and I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's 82 apps. I think they're based out of. I'm pretty sure they're based out of Boston too, or Mass.
And it was for iOS, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think iOS only.
And he was going to be
unfortunate.
working on Android, and he was also
He wanted to do PC.
PC, and he also he was working on online.
Yeah.
He said that he's like that he already had it like figured out basically.
Yeah, I think
he just didn't have it for launch.
I think with iOS, it's currently only Bluetooth connection that you can do multiplayer.
That was the problem. Yeah. Maybe over Wi-Fi?
It was only
No,
local.
No Wi-Fi. Only
it was
Bluetooth,
local.
Yeah.
It was only the Bluetooth connection. So,
Fun
That's
game.
pretty cool. And was that out now?
I'm pretty sure he said
Yes.
you're the one
Yes.
like
Hone's out
surfing
now.
the internet in the middle of the podcast, and you're asking us these fucking questions. Jesus, is that out now? I don't know. The guy with the fucking computer. You fucking look it up and tell me when it's out.
I'm not that interested.
Yes, Pwn is out right now.
See, you know.
Jesus.
Fuck you.
Sorry I missed that whole conversation. Is it out? Because I've been watching the Twitter feed instead. Jesus.
Now that I've worked you into this mood, QBots.
Eh. Dude,
That's what I was gunning for.
dude, I was just looking around because every now and again I just like to hop on Steam to see what they've added. Because not everything has to go through Greenlight. Some stuff they're just like, I'm so and so, put it on Steam. Okay. It was called Alpha Forge, and it essentially build your own base tower defense. You built up a building, and then you placed turrets, and I think you had some resources, but you essentially could like build a crazy spiral staircase that goes all the way to the top, or whatever building it you wanted to, and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of neat because there's an objective. Guys, there's waves of guys that are coming after you. One of the levels that I saw in the demo is like, it looks almost like the Normandy landing with like trench systems going through. So like they're going to come up and try to come through the trenches, and there's machine guns and spotlights, and it's nighttime and they're icy. I was like, wow, this looks really intense. So there's an objective to it. So you're not just building a building in the middle of nowhere to go, look at my sweet house, guys. And I even did this one that looks like a little plant and a chair, and we could sit at the table and eat dinner. That's seriously, every video I've seen of Minecraft is like, dude, check out this sweet building I built. I don't care. Do something. Like, don't just show me something that you made. This isn't art. All right? It's 8-bit. Like,
You need to just start replying with like, "This is my Sims house that I built."
Yeah, well, no, actually, that's
Look
a
at the
great way to look at
carpet
it. It's like,
color.
you're the Sims, except instead of like some dude that you make run around naked all the time, it's just this block of a fucking player. And that's the issue I have with Minecraft. There's just seem to be any objective. At least with QBots, there's enemies. There's guys that come after you besides those
At
zombies.
least he's
in
got a
Minecraft.
fucking gun.
He's got a gun. As far as I know, there's going to be customization to your character.
There's gonna be quests and stuff too.
There's going to be
eventually.
quests. There's going to be boss fights. There's going to be co-op modes. And I'm like, okay, so there's at least some substance to this. So but it's still kind of Minecraft. And it looks kind of like Minecraft.
Yeah.
Like smooth Minecraft
So
instead
if
of
you like
blocky.
Minecraft, but you wish it had
Guns.
more action, guns and more
This
action
may be
and
right
stuff
up
to
your
do,
alley.
this would probably be your game.
Yeah. And again, I from looking at it and from the way that they were talking about it, it sounded as if it was an alpha build.
Yeah,
so
it looked like a
very
really
early
early
on,
build.
there's still going to be a lot done.
And there was
with
some
it
cool
since
stuff,
then.
like when one of the guys
They had a
was
full
coming at
inventory
him.
system.
Yeah, one of the guys was coming at him. The guy was changing the terrain right in front of him to build like a little mini wall that he could kept moving around, so the guy couldn't quite get to him and stuff. And then he ended up running away from it at the end.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I didn't get, is that the kid was playing the game and he was picking up like pieces of armor after he just killed a couple guys. But it like when you touch the armor, it'd show you where to place it, but it didn't tell you anything about it.
I think because that was mostly alpha build.
Yeah, it's,
Okay.
I think a lot of it is just that, hey, here is
he was
the
seeing if you
concept
could
of
even
the
pick up
game,
the armor
so
before
check
they
out.
had it
Right.
do different
I'm guessing
things.
they probably have a Kickstarter too. Kickstarter seems to be pretty
The
popular
way
these
to
days.
do it, apparently.
Especially if you can get some footage of your game out there.
Yeah.
So from there, and we just went and saw and hung out with Greg Hastings again because he's awesome.
I really want to get him on the cast.
He's so.
I don't even know if I want to get him on to talk about his game. I mean, like he can talk about it if he wants, but like we shot the shit with him for what, probably a half an hour, 20 minutes on that Friday night, and he is just fucking hilarious.
I will say, I played the game on Saturday. It was awesome.
Yeah, we saw a demo of the guy playing. It looks sick.
The coolest thing about it is when you start the game, it goes like 3, 2, 1, counts down, and then it locks wherever you have the phone facing. That is your forward look right there. And then from there, you don't use the accelerometer or something like that to turn where you look. You actually spin, and wherever you aim the phone it like detects your movement. So like when you go up, you look up in the air. It's kind of hard to use when you start because you have to like, instead of like turning like to the side with your thumb or something like that, you literally just spin around 180 degrees to look behind you.
So much more interactive.
Well,
yeah.
That's the thing. When I first started, I was like, I'm not going to turn. I'll look like a douche.
No,
and
you
then
have
you're like
to.
playing and you're like, I have to turn. Everyone's going to think I'm a douche. And then you turn and you're like, this is sweet.
I think it was funny when because did you play on the iPad or the?
No, I played on the
I played on the iPad.
Yeah.
Only one of them had the grenades.
Yeah, mine
Yeah,
had, he unlocked
had
the grenades for me.
That was also cool because you get like a 3,000 counter grenade. So, but I was just.
You could just hold the grenade button in the demo that he gave me, and it was like,
And then
just like mortaring people.
The demo too also had like unlimited ammo.
Yeah, it had like
so you could just,
30,000 shots.
That was the funny part is that he was pretty much every time they were demoing the game, they were playing speedball. So as soon as you started, if you look straight up, it would just be, if you were blue, all you would see is like this hail of red
Yeah.
paintballs
That's sick.
because they know where you spawn. So they would just be like, there they are, up.
Have you ever? I'm sure you guys have played speedball, right?
Oh yeah.
Like you start and you're aimed down in the ready. The second you get up, you're now that's my cover. As fast as you can hammer that trigger. And
spraying
hopefully have
as you
auto,
run
and
for
just,
cover.
Like, spray it and hope to hit somebody on your way to the cover and not get hit.
Yeah, I mean, and the physics in it were
That's the worst part
really
of the speedball.
good.
I hate. That's my
The worst,
my least
no,
favorite
the worst part of
'cause I-
speedball.
ugh.
The worst part of speedball is running full tilt at a piece of cover, spraying, and then diving full tilt at that cover and landing awkwardly.
Yeah.
and fucking your shit up.
Yeah,
And then your hopper opens up on your back and all the
Yeah,
balls
and then you
fall
lose
out.
all
You're like,
your ammo.
motherfucker.
I didn't have an issue with that. It's also that moment right before you're like, okay, I'm going for it now. And you just hear off the bag. It's like
Yeah.
3 people know that you're there. And they're just like, oh, he ain't going to come out. He ain't going to be stupid enough. You're just like, I got to do it.
That was like the hardest part about paintball when we were younger. It was just like everybody's kind of a pussy.
Yeah,
Except
no,
for a few that were just like, then they would always
no.
win. Like I remember Bedaw literally got lit up one time, like from like a foot away.
No.
Fucking
It was, no. The barrel was on my
yeah,
arm.
Andrew Corbett literally ran across the field because Bedaw was behind a tree. Literally across an open field towards a tree that Bedaw's behind, and just puts the barrel on Bedaw's arm basically, and just lights up like 3 bullets and just puts 3 holes
Blew
right in
holes
his
right
shirt.
through my shirt.
Yeah, it's just like holy shit.
You know what it is, though? It's when I first started, it's that first time getting hit that you're nervous of. After you've been hit,
You're
then
good.
afterwards like that, you're like, I'll just run out, and if I get lit up, whatever, bro.
Yeah.
There are some
shit.
places that
It's-
hurt to get hit still after that, but
Well, I
for the
mean,
most
yeah,
time,
hitting,
well, yeah,
getting
but
shot
for the
right in the wieners.
yeah,
It's because you're scared of like, oh man, this could really hurt. But then after you get hit, you're like, oh, that hurt, but it's not that bad.
You're like-
I got shot in the ass from like 10 feet away one time, like while I'm loading up.
Square in the ass.
No, while I'm
The
loading
square
up
in the
my
ass.
fucking hopper, and Bart apparently thought that I was just chilling up there or something, like hiding. I don't know what the fuck he thought, and he just like lit me up in the
Up in
ass,
the
and I
safe-
had like the biggest welt, dude. It was. I have a picture of it
I
somewhere. It's
think I got
fucking
hit on the pinky knuckle from like 10 feet away. And you get hit at first, especially when the adrenaline's going, because you know, like, you just took cover behind something, you know there's a guy like 10 feet away. So I was like kind of laying on my back, and I thought I was hidden, but he was like, Keegan was just like laying rounds on me. And one of them hit my knuckle. I go, oh, shit, did I get hit? And I'm like, damn it, I did. Like, Once you get
Yeah.
hit that first time,
Dude, your adrenaline's pumping. Like,
Yeah.
I've gotten hit in the hand before. That actually usually sucks, but, like, it's more like after your adrenaline stops and your hand's just in, like, extreme pain, like,
And you're-
shaking,
you're
and you're like,
shaking.
oh, Jesus
damn
Christ.
it, that hurts like a
Yeah.
bitch. It wasn't that bad 10 minutes ago.
I would love to hear what pro paintballers would think of what we're saying right now. They're
Dude.
like, those goddamn pussies.
Our daily routine
Considering-
it's like a 30 rack.
Considering we were using
box of balls,
Tippmanns,
just like,
and the gun that he had there, he said fired 30 balls a second.
Yeah.
It was
When
like
they get hit,
$5,000.
When they get hit in their hand, it's just like,
The
we're
original
complaining about one.
The first guy we were talking to, he was talking later, and he's like talking about how his 9-year-old daughter plays, and he's like, she's fucking good, and pretty soon I'm gonna put her in a dress and make her go out there and embarrass these guys. I'm like, do it, fucking hilarious.
I think that'd probably be the greatest video of all time.
yeah.
Fact.
Just like there's just some chick out there, like some like
She's
9-year-old
like
girl in a
like,
tutu, just like
yeah, little pink princess costume with like her mask
yeah,
on.
and big old boots.
Combat boots and a fucking tutu,
But, what's
like
that
chick from Kick-Ass.
What's that paintball place out in like not that far away? It's only like an hour and a half away.
Ooh, wow!
Gardner?
We're about to take
It's like in
shit.
Seaford.
I don't know. I can't think of it.
Is it in Mass?
God, it's the hardest I've ever.
No,
seen
it's in
you
New
think.
Hampshire. But 2 years ago, we did that as a company outing, and you could bring your own shit. Which I still had my Spider TL, which I was like, I don't have a Tippmann in '98, so
Yeah.
I'll be badass. False.
No, that was a bad idea.
You get these kids that show up in full ghillie suits, and every game we played with like everybody from work, and then the last one they did on their biggest course, which is like 14 acres.
Holy
Like
shit.
square. Yeah, it was
That's not very
huge.
big.
It was huge for like 20 people.
Actually, that's not that bad.
And they were like, hey, if it's okay just to fill it up, you're going to be playing with these kids over here. And 2 of them were in ghillie suits. So we're like,
Where? Those two. Over
exactly. We
there.
were like, oh, they'll be hard to see, but we'll just figure it out. And then this kid turned around and he had a backpack, and on each side it held like 6 of those reload tubes.
Yeah.
And then the backpack was 2 gas tanks, into which he pulled out this rifle that, you know, in like when you start up a game of Black Ops 2 and you have like the 50 cal and he pulls the chamber back and it's just like,
Yeah.
that was that gun. The thing was rifled and it literally shot a bullet, and it sounds like a blow off valve on a turbo car. And that's all you would hear. You just hear this and then you just flap. Oh my god.
There's just some dude sitting up in the tower, just like, all right, I've got position on it. Then there's something you hear it just like,
Oh no,
it's like, how did he even shoot him? He was in a box.
we played the game.
It's just like ripped through.
We
tore
played the
up his
game.
face.
That kid literally found a bush, sat next to it, and won. Because he also had a pistol.
No.
He like
Nobody
runs,
knew.
He like
He had
runs
a
out.
9 mil.
Nobody knew he had a pistol on him.
Sneak
We
up
just
on
thought he
me,
had a
kid.
rifle, so we're like, if we can get close, we can get him. But he had a pistol that was seriously like the size of a .45, and it held 5 shots.
He legit just ditches his fucking assault rifle in the bush, and then just pulls out his pistol and just starts icing somebody. You're like, who the fuck is this guy?
You know, you just see him walking
He shoots
with
somebody
a ghillie
right
suit.
as the hopper goes out, tosses it, pistol out of the side. Dude, 3 people coming up on
Dude,
him.
he just one-handed
Paintbrush.
his 50
God,
pounds.
knife somebody with it.
I was actually thinking about that.
Oh,
What
that'd be
melee.
great, dude. Oh, that'd be great.
they actually should include in that game because they have the grenades. They'll probably.
I
have
think
the,
he
the
said he
paint
might
lines.
ask the
That would be
paintbrush.
amazing
The
to have
paint
a
knife.
paint knife.
The paint
just
knife.
run up there just like paint knife.
A
Like,
single
oh.
stiff horsehair dipped in orange paint. Shanked.
Dude, the paint whip.
Oh god.
paint tomahawk.
But Greg said that, or he said that game was coming out for Ouya.
Yeah, yeah, he did.
Yep.
And
It's on iOS, as we said.
Yeah.
I think he said he was going for Android.
yeah, he was working on Android.
Yep, working on Android.
Pretty much everything we reviewed said they were on iOS, and they're
Yeah,
gonna release on Android. They just need to
yeah.
fucking get it done.
But yeah, big shout out to him because I mean, obviously outside of meeting Cliffy B and Randy Pitchford, he was the most chill dude we ever hung out with.
Dude, he was
Dude, he
fucking
was-
hilarious.
No, that's the thing is he wasn't really chill. That dude was like 6 deep, and had more energy than I think I've ever seen somebody.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's the thing. He was
Yeah.
just down to talk about whatever. Like, it wasn't like our other developer meets. We're like, oh, hey, pitch your game. Our introduction to him was, oh, you got to talk to this redheaded fuck over here. And we're like, what? And then he comes over and he's like, I'm not talking to anybody that hasn't played paintball before. We're like, all right.
Thank
thank
God we
God.
have.
When I stopped talking.
Yeah. And then Billy shut his mouth and the rest of us
Like a
continued.
good bitch.
I just knew that. You know he was good shit. He's like, dude, I'm not a drunk, and he was like, yeah, you just know how to have a good time. He's like, somebody understands me.
Dougie's like, if
I
you're
was
ever
like, no,
bored on a
Tommy
Friday
understand.
night,
He's black Irish, and he just goes, "It's okay, I forgive you."
Dougie goes, if you're ever bored on a Friday night, he goes, I'm Irish. I'm never bored on a Friday night. Dougie's like, well, if you ever trashed on a Friday night. And
Well,
he-
if you're ever really hungover on a Sunday morning.
yeah,
And you want to be on a podcast? Oh, yeah, okay. So, yeah, he's awesome.
So that was pretty much Saturday in a nutshell. And then Sunday was slow motivation day.
Yeah.
We didn't want to do shit.
Yeah, it was PAX Hangover Day.
Yeah.
did you guys get trashed on fucking Saturday
No.
night?
no.
No, it was just
we were just like
hungover from PAX.
the
Just tired hungover?
yeah,
Yeah.
the cast with Manzi went long, and we just got to bed.
Yeah,
late.
and really tiring on the abs.
Yeah, we were pretty much laughing through the whole fucking
Yeah.
thing. He's just too ridiculous. He's too fucking ridiculous.
He is ridiculous.
And
We'll
it's,
have him on.
yeah, but you got to take him with a grain of salt because his job is just to come in and make fun of you, which I was his target.
Tom, you're always the target.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, way to fuck up this card real good.
Real
that
good.
was.
But once we did pull into Sunday, pretty much the main thing that we spent most of the time at was Frima Studios. What?
I said merch booths.
Merch booth. Annoying merch booths. But we went to Frima Studios, and they are the makers of Zombie
Dude,
Tycoon 2.
So I don't know if Bedaw and I told you. So we headed over.
Oh yeah, you went
We found
to
a game.
Super Splatters.
We saw Super Splatters. I'll talk about it in a sec. Then afterwards, Bedaw's like, all right, well, let's hit something up. I'm like, just want to find Frima, and then we know where it is. We can go hit another.
No, that was
another
before
booth.
Super Splatters we tried to. It was right after we left them at Rooster Teeth.
Oh yeah, so that's right. And I'm like, oh, we just need to find Frima. We'll know where it is. Then we can go see whatever. They'll text us, and we'll meet them up. We'll meet up with them, right?
25 minutes later.
Yeah, we literally walked the entire floor. Never saw it.
Couldn't find it.
We never hit the backside because we were looking for Nun Attack. We never hit that specific part of the backside of that booth. I'm like, there's Zombie Tycoon. I don't even know what company that is.
And they don't have a sign that says
they didn't have
Frima
the Frima
Studios. They
sign.
just had this block that was the 3 games
Yeah,
they were
Ubisoft
pitching.
doesn't need a sign that says Ubisoft because
But they did.
no, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
Ubisoft did.
But they have
That was
one.
Assassin's Creed that had they had a Ubisoft logo on. I'm just saying like they didn't have a specific like we are
Ubisoft.
No, but
Ubisoft.
I was just about dumb enough to look at the Watchdog thing and be like, hey, I wonder who makes Watchdogs.
Wait, was it Frima?
No, Watchdogs is Ubisoft.
Ubisoft.
Oh, dude.
But I literally had a brain fart moment, and I was like, who the hell makes Watchdogs?
So we gave up after they're like, "Oh, we're already here." Like whatever.
Well,
But
all right, we'll let
sat
you guys
down-
talk to 'em.
Yeah, we sat down at Super Splatters. That was great.
Yeah.
That was a lot of. That was a.
It
It wasn't really. It was a puzzle game, but not really.
that was
Kinda.
really confusing when he friended us on Twitter,
Who?
the guy from Super Splatters, because his
The
name
spiky
comes
snail?
up in all Arabic, and I was like, what
Oh, yeah.
the
Yeah,
fuck?
they're from
They're Israeli.
Yeah.
The dude has his PhD in physics.
Wow.
So apparently he was just like, physics must be boring.
He did it for
except
like
in video.
He said he
games."
was doing a bunch of like physics program for like medical stuff and everything
Yeah.
like that, and he's like, it's not really that fun. I like making games better. So
Indeed.
The color in it was just. It was pretty intense.
yes,
What was it
super
about?
vivid.
Yeah, what is Super
So,
Splatter?
if you look, I don't know if you saw the little card that they gave us for it. They like one of those like, hey, come check out our game, 30% off or something like that. So basically, you're trying to get views. So you're trying to be famous, essentially.
The views
And
are
to
your
do that-
points.
Yeah. To do that, you have these little bombs that get triggered. These colored bombs that get triggered by that same color liquid, and you're supposed to launch them. And you get a couple different techniques to help you move around and cover the bombs in the goo.
Yeah. So
it's really simple. It's little. It was like a mix of Worms, Snood, and Angry Birds. It was awesome.
Yeah, you like started off and you aimed your guy where you wanted to go, and eventually you like gain like different stunts they call them, which are like powers. One of them was you could fire, and then if you didn't do a full blast, like
There's
just like
that
a partial
airstrike,
blast,
that's what it's called.
yeah, airstrike, you could change direction. It would like if you press a button again, it would like kind of slow mo you, and you could aim again and refire, so you could while going through midair aim again.
Yeah.
There was the flip, which was like a time reverse, so like you could go and as you started to explode to cover an area, you could flip and you could like reverse time back and like cover a
it was
different
also used
area.
'cause some of the if you don't full charge, you'll still go in a straight line, and so you can like move your guy around to position him somewhere on the map. But they have some of them are ramps, and so when you hit them, you can like go and you get a speed boost to go faster. But then if you reverse time, you like eventually pick up speed, so you like max out your speed, and then you can like launch.
It wasn't really a reverse time because when you did that, you kept your speed from so you'd slide down, get that speed, then you'd flip, slide back up with the speed, get
dude.
more speed, then flip again, and just you keep just. And then Dougie would like shoot himself halfway.
But what's great is was the bombs also went back too, right?
Yeah, everything moved.
Yeah, the whole
it
the
affected
whole game,
everything.
Like, I don't know. It was just one of those great puzzle games where, especially if it was on a phone. Well,
Incredi-
actually, on a phone, it'd probably be insanely
All
hard.
you used was right mouse button and space bar, and then
That's
shift.
all we got
shift
to
if
do,
you
but-
no. He said that's all you used the entire game.
nice.
And like shift, you could change your guys before you shot, so you could pick who you wanted to shoot with. But yeah, all you used was space bar to do the flip thing and right
Airstrike.
mouse button or left mouse button to click to shoot to aim and shoot, and that was it. But there was it was
Yeah,
I mean just those two simple controls. There was so much in the game to do
And the
with that.
like I said, the color was
Oh, it was just the color and like
Stunning.
just like the little basic physics. Like when your guy would land, like you were goo, basically a little goo guy, and when you would land, like he would like stick and like kind of stretch a little bit and like shake
like
back.
little bits
It
would
like
fall off.
It
like,
looked like it was like actual like you like threw one of those like putty things at the wall and it like stuck and then like started to fall. Like
Yeah.
it looked perfect.
Sick.
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right, tell me about Frima. Because I didn't see a booth.
a
Obviously,
game
apparently
studio.
it wasn't even.
Yeah, I mean, they're the
Free
guys
game
that
game
brought us
studio. They make
Pocket
video
God,
Yeah,
which
Pocket
came
God.
out
That was-
years ago.
Yeah, I
that was
remember
a-
that
that
from
was
like high school.
oldie
Yeah.
but goodie.
I think that was like one of the first real good like Android.
That was
games.
the first.
No,
that
that
was
was,
one of the first apps I found that I really.
That was actually pre iPhone.
Really?
Yeah, that was. I had it on the iPod.
The iPod Touch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I remember that.
They put out Nun Attack is one of their newer ones, and Zombie Tycoon 2, which is the one that all of us were there for.
Yeah, which we
was-
have
Yeah, 'cause
footage of
Yeah,
me and
we'll
Dougie
we'll
playing,
definitely post a link.
which
of
we'll
me
post again in the description.
Absolutely destroying
Okay,
Durs.
Dougie's playing on a giant like 32-inch TV. I'm playing on the Vita. Dougie has the developer standing over his shoulder telling him what to do. I'm just in there trying to figure it out as I
I
go.
don't know. Seems fair.
Oh yeah.
I
'cause
also used
they're-
the most difficult of the heroes to use. So you get like a hero unit, and then your
No.
mobile base actually deploys units. And
I'm pretty sure we can hear it on the thing you asked. Is this guy the most difficult? He goes, no, he's not the most difficult. He just is the hardest to level up. Your
No,
guy
it's
was
the
actually,
it was the hardest to master.
he had
That's
one of
what
the,
he said.
He had one of the most
That's what I
powerful
chose.
starting moves, though.
Yeah, and he was weak as dick.
It didn't
Dude, he does
matter.
like no damage, and he dude, just whatever. You get crushed.
You can
we'll
watch.
post a link.
You can watch the
You
game.
can just watch. All right. That small screen doesn't account for bad strategy. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, because there was a point. There was a point that Dougie's just like we're watching him on the TV, and he's just working his way across this massive map, and he runs into Bedaw. Like he didn't do it on purpose. He was just there, and the guy was like, "Uh oh, oh, you found him already." Uh oh.
Well, but that was like I don't know if he just didn't notice, but I was like taking buildings, and then he had just
I was trying to
captured-
take buildings. I
you
didn't
had
have
just-
to.
You just beat it up till it's
Okay, that's
yours.
what I thought. I was doing
Yeah.
that then.
So
I was taking buildings.
You just took one, so I just sent in 2 sets of engineers to go just take it over fast as shit.
Well, the problem was I got jumped by a redneck when I was going down.
A redneck?
Yes, the
Nice.
difficulty of guys went cops, soldiers, rednecks, I think.
Do you guys know anything about MOBAs? Like League of Legends is a MOBA?
Oh, yeah.
How you have you ever heard of what's referred to as the jungle or jungling?
I don't think
No,
so.
it's stupid. Anyways, it's because
Or
on the map,
jungling.
on the map, it's a jungle piece of the
Yeah.
map, and it just has neutral guys in there, so you can level up. There's strategy to it, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I get
I
you.
think it's essentially just neutral units that you could go out there and kill. for
Right, so that
XP.
you don't just go head to head with.
Well, what you would
trash
do is you
units.
would you had so you have your main base, which was triangle. You had two groups of guys, which were I don't even know what it is in
Square and
PlayStation. Square and O, yeah, and then X.
Sorry, circle.
Circle and O, circle and square. God.
Circle and O.
Circle and O. Damn PlayStation.
Circle and square. Yeah.
And then X was your special guy, and what you do is you kill like the cops to get the second stage of move. You kill the soldiers, and that would work on your gaining your third stage move, and you kill the rednecks, and that would gain your fourth stage move, which was your most powerful one.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, as far as I know, that just gained experience.
Oh, I thought it was from killing those specific guys, but
no, the neutral guys were just they give you a lot more experience.
Yeah.
Just like how just like if you kill the enemies, your opponents, then you actually get more experience.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll post a link to it. I think you can actually hear the guy pretty well. It was quite hoarse, of course. But yeah, you can still hear him. He talks about it a lot. So
It's a real time strategy done right
for a
for
console.
a console.
real time strategy, kind of. I saw it almost more of a squad based with real time strategy elements.
Yeah.
Because you're more moving your squads where you want them to go. And
well, our game also got
completing.
over kind of quick.
Yeah.
Right, because I crushed you.
Yeah, he said a long game, like the record long game that weekend was like 25 minutes.
Yeah, and he said it was epic
They're meant
at
to
the
be.
end.
They're meant to be quick. But what's nice is with the cross platform to the Vita, which I guess is a lot of why there's more simplicity and less number of units, is just because the Vita is not nearly as powerful as PlayStation 3.
Yeah,
but
that's pretty interesting that they did that, so you can pretty much go platform versus.
Well, that you don't have to bring your PS3 over if you want to play somebody. You can play local games.
And that was the other cool thing is that if you buy one copy, so like say you get your copy for your PlayStation, automatically gets you a copy for the
they give you a
Vita.
copy for the
Oh,
Vita.
that's
Free.
legit.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I mean, it
That's
kind of
pretty
sucks
awesome.
because you have to have both. I don't know anybody that has both. But we're
Well,
just poor.
I think if we lived in a city, we'd probably see a lot more Vita and 3DS. Because I saw at PAX, I saw a shitload of people with the 3DS.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they were everywhere.
Shitloads of people.
Dude, all right.
I don't even think I know anybody who owns a 3DS.
Fact. How many times were you walking down the hallway and there were just people sitting down playing their 3DS?
Yeah.
It's like, why are you guys at a gaming convention?
Well, they're probably playing
your-
over something with like a bunch
I
of
was-
other people.
I saw people taking pictures with their 3DS. I'm like, I didn't fucking know
I mean,
people
think
owned
about
these
if you
things.
like loved some Game Pow, but nobody you knew played
Yeah,
it,
and that's the hard
Yeah.
part.
and you were gonna go there anyways, and you're like,
there's no Wi-Fi.
oh, there's
no,
not the 3DS. I thought there was some sort of connectivity.
I thought there
I thought it was
was,
Bluetooth. They have Wi-Fi. All right, but as far as I, huh?
It's a 3D camera.
Now, question though, P. Billy, since you seem to be the resident expert on the 3DS, is it done like the Wii where you have to have some stupid fucking Wii code to enter in to find them?
Don't know how the network works.
Yeah, because I know there was there's a website out there when I was doing research into some of the happenings at PAX that they essentially try to connect people who actually play 3DS. So I'm wondering if it's local Wi-Fi or if it's network Wi-Fi. We'll
I'm
have to
sure
look
it's
that up.
networked.
You'd think.
Unless you're like, everybody has to drive down to Boston to play on Tuesdays. Like, that just doesn't make sense today.
But
Well, I mean, if you're not playing with anyone anyways, normally. I mean, yeah, it depends on how their thing
I
is.
also saw like there was one booth for a card game I've never heard of in my life that was clearly like a super Japanese card game. If you're into that card game because for wherever you were when you happened to get into it, when you found it, or you had a buddy that
This is amazing.
one other buddy, it's only
No
you.
one
So
plays
I started
it.
and I started to think about it. 3 days after 2 days, we were completely exhausted because we were trying to get a lot of stuff done. If you were just going there to enjoy, you could spend one whole day just playing this card game that you love
And
that
it
you
probably
don't
seemed
have a
like-
chance to play 6
Yeah.
on 6 or whatever.
It probably seemed like a short time.
Yeah, or
really.
just go
And you
sit
meet
in the fucking retro room all day.
And you and you
something.
meet these other people that have these same interests and might live within an hour away from you.
Yeah.
And you could just find a place to meet up and
I'd go in there and sit down for 8 hours, play some
Yeah.
old Halo 1.
That was really cool because if we could go back and just like if we were actually there for a longer amount of time on Sunday, I would have totally gone in there in the throwback console room, just like I'll take an NES
Yeah, that's the
and
thing.
some
If we were
Battletoads.
down there and we were just like, hey, we have nothing to do today, let's go kill a day in the fucking tournament room or something and just watch people play. Like
Yeah.
that could still be fun. That's just like not what we're.
I think,
Yeah.
I think another
for.
part of it is we were thinking we're media. We don't get to do regular people stuff. So we don't get to do normie
Bullshit.
stuff.
Well, yeah,
Which
we were
apparently
trying.
they
we're-
do encourage.
Yeah, well, we were trying to
They
stay.
do.
away
Which
from-
we'll know
Some of
next
the
year.
stuff you can. I don't think you can enter the tournaments. You can't
No.
enter the Omega. Like you can't be part of the Omegathon.
Which,
like,
well, that's like a bigger
that's
thing,
that's
though.
predetermined anyways. But,
Yeah.
there's some things you can't participate in, and I'm certainly not going to go ask people for free merch at their booth.
I think it
But-
would have been different. It would be different if we were like the guys that we ran into from Game Zone. Like they were sent from their company to do a certain job, whereas we are the parent company. So whatever.
Yeah,
I
we
was
do-
actually.
we just
check-
roll in. We're like, we're gonna do whatever we want because we're gonna talk about this in our medium, which is
Yeah,
this
there's
right
nobody
now,
that
what
we're
doing.
answering to.
Yeah.
Right.
I was looking at. I think his name is Lance from Game Zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's like the senior editor though. Like he's like. I mean, yeah, I guess his company sent him, but he's like a huge part of the company.
They're
Well,
from Florida, weren't they?
I thought
Yeah.
what he was saying is he was part of Game Zone, which was bought out by a bigger company.
I think he just
Of
said they
some
were
kind.
in like they were trying to like reformat the site and get rid of all the shit that didn't work and
Yeah.
and hone in on
I
things.
thought he had said that Game Zone was like a
Rebranding.
smaller.
Yeah,
Part
they
of something
grew a
else. I
little
can't
bit and then they
remember.
got bought by another.
I want to say he said their
company.
website got like 2 million views a week. Or like something ridiculous. Like, holy shit. But yeah, I was
Well, it's
looking at it, I
just
was like,
like,
oh, it's
yeah.
just a kid who worked there. I
I
was
think
like, oh,
about
senior
my
editor.
website like
fuck.
2 million times a week. It's like the same thing.
Dougie just stares at our website.
I just stare at my computer till views go up, and it must be me.
It's the new watching the paint dry. He just watches the view count go up on the video,
And I try to use the force.
willing it to go up.
Yeah. I try to use the force via internet connectivity.
Maybe it'll be like that guy on Heroes when he's the very first episode when he learns the time travel. He's just sitting there staring, he goes, ah, and then the clock hand goes backwards, he goes, and then just starts flying backwards. That'll be you. Just be like, God, it'll go up a view, like, and then all of a sudden, 10,000 views.
No, it's gonna be like 10 billion views, and it's gonna explode out of the screen. Like, oh shit!
Oh my
He'll
god!
be right on the. He'll be right at the ending of the Outlast video as it explodes out of the screen for real
The
life.
most famous person ever. There's more people have seen your videos than there are people on Earth. You're pretty fucking famous. Just gonna throw that out there. Oh man.
Every person on Earth has watched this video twice.
And then the last one, I know Bedaw and P. Billy can talk about a little bit more, was Legend of Dungeon.
Go ahead, Badur, since you have a mic.
Yeah, Legends of Dungeon was. It was a bunch of procedurally generated stuff, which was really cool. Like your character is procedurally generated, the maps are procedurally generated every single time you
Explain.
open.
What do you mean?
Do you remember how in Diablo 1, every now and or I think even
Every
in
single
2,
time you logged in,
it was
a different map.
Oh,
but,
randomly
like,
generated.
It was like
Yeah.
kind
Oh,
of
okay.
procedurally generated. Just is a fancy word for random map.
Random
Okay,
map.
all right.
Yeah, but it's got some logic to make sure that like the random assembling of the map doesn't like
Works.
fuck
Isn't
you
yeah?
over.
To the
Isn't
boss.
just
Right.
Yeah.
all.
Okay.
You just locks you
spawn
into a
and
one
there's just
room.
one door on the other side of that's a lava pit.
or you open up door one and it's like, hey, there's Diablo. I'm level 1. Fuck.
It tries not to do that. It's happened, but it tries not
Reset.
to.
But yeah, then it has like you start in the like tavern and you just go into like if you're a guy, you just walk into the guy's bathroom and then you come out the girl's bathroom with a randomly generated. And then if you're the chick, you walk into the chick's bathroom, you come out the guy's bathroom with a randomly generated guy. Blah blah blah. Just like that's just how you like pick your random person.
Alright.
And then after that, you go down into like the dungeon, and the entire point of the game
That
is
was below a tavern.
Yeah.
Classy.
and the entire point of the game is to get down to the 23rd level of the dungeon or something like that.
Why 23? Did you ask
I
that?
think it's 26.
Is it 26?
Why?
Don't know.
How do
Good
you-
question.
No.
Well, we'll
Poor
have to have them
poor
on.
journalism.
We will get them on the podcast.
We didn't
and
wanna
ask
ask
them
too
why
much.
26.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were talking to the developers, and he said that he's never beaten the game just because it's randomly generated.
I was
every
gonna ask
time.
about
He's-
that.
Impossible.
Has he never beaten it, or has he never beaten it single player? Has he ever gotten a group of 4 together?
He said he's never finished it.
I don't know. I think I got to check with him on that one.
Yeah, I
We'll
want to find
follow
out
up on
because
that.
I would love to be the first person to
Indeed.
ever do it.
I'm pretty sure he said he'd never finished it. I don't think he said he'd never beat it.
So
which would lead me to believe he'd never.
I
done
saw
it
there's
all.
quite a bit
But
for
I
each
don't know.
individual person's HUD, kind of. There seems to be a weapon, health, and a ton of other stats.
Just a
going
bunch
on,
of
but
random stuff you can pick up. Like
Is there like an inventory system?
Items, yeah. You can switch forward and back with items, and like as you get deeper and deeper there. They basically were like whatever they thought might be fun to put in it. So like it starts off like you're in a tavern, you got swords, and it's like, oh, here's a Tommy gun.
literally just random.
I think I overheard him. Somebody asked something, and he said something about people that were donating to Kickstarter asked if they could put an enemy in the game or something.
Anything
and
in
he
the
just
game, yeah,
threw it in.
and they would put it in like
Basically.
That's awesome.
there was.
Go donate $5, and you can have your face in there. Sweet.
Yeah,
That's pretty much it. The crazy thing was even the music was procedurally generated.
which was pretty,
That was
pretty
the crazy
cool.
thing. So like they had a guy who did their music, and he basically like he wrote all the songs with the same tempo, same key, but they were all different. And they had like basically they took the individual tracks, and they have like 240 individual audio tracks. Depending on how many enemies are in the room, depending on how intense combat is,
sick.
what's going on, it'll play the different pieces at different times and it just meshes together. It was wild.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
wouldn't
Just wait till
have
that
known it was-
glitches out.
Yeah.
Can you imagine when
And
all
you just start infinity. You just start infinity falling to just like.
It's
you-
like a.
Can
It's
you
like a nice
imagine
little
when people are
dude.
just making like real music like that? It's just like a CD.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, I just put on my fucking generator for about 3 hours and recorded it. It's like top seller.
It like measures like how fast you're driving in the car. So this is my car driving mix.
That is actually an amazing.
Oh, that'd be
idea,
sick,
though.
and then you stop.
If you actually create an app procedurally generated that
as you
It's
walk,
a soundtrack
as
to
you
your
run.
life.
It's like that
it
Family
uses
Guy
GPS
episode.
location, so as you're moving, depending on where you are,
Speed,
it just randomly generates
ambient
pieces of
noise
music.
and
Once you're at
Yeah.
work,
Yes.
it's just super depressing music. Dude.
Every day, it's just like, dude.
If it hears a lot of like
This
beer
is-
bottles opening or something, it gives you like a really somber music to deal with.
No,
I don't know.
just some really party
That'd
music.
be a crazy app to do. So you just like every time you're driving to work, or essentially you just never hear the same
Good.
song.
I heard a song. It was a dubstep song earlier when I was driving, and it's like all dubstep is just soundtrack to your life. Fucking music. That's all it is. It's just like intense, like beats and shit like that, and you're like, oh, it's so epic. But really, what I'm doing is just driving down the highway. And it feels epic though. Damn it.
It's like the soundtrack of the life you wish you had.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
You hear
man.
it, you just go like, dude, I am just bumping it in the club, going nuts.
No, not
this
even in
is
the club.
sick.
You just feel like you're driving like, holy shit, I gotta go save my daughter. Or something like, and then it's like, oh, but really, I'm just driving to
I'm
Dougie's to go
Liam
do a
Neeson and
podcast.
Taken.
Could you now, if you wrote the guy who wrote the music, he can't win a Grammy. Because what do you give him?
The program wins the
It's like
Grammy.
you can never win best song because it'll never be the same thing.
You'll never hear it again, damn
Dude,
it.
I heard the song. It was the greatest song ever. I'll never hear it again because it'll never be put in that
And
order.
the Grammy goes to this guy for a song that nobody will ever be able to hear
except for
ever again.
except for the 4 people in the room that heard it.
Yeah, just what it was. All the 4 of the Grammy judges. They're like, "Oh my god!"
We only know that the song happened because the 4 people's heads exploded.
And now Tenacious D will sing a tribute to that greatest song ever written
Oh wait, they
that will
already
never
have.
be heard.
That's awesome. Actually,
Yeah, the one thing I do
that
want
is that's perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
the one thing I do want to talk about
Sounded
though
nothing
from
like
those
this
guys is
song.
they asked him about like DLC and stuff like that, and one of the things he said was he doesn't really believe in DLC. So like they're going to create expansions, and if you bought the game,
You
it's
get the
free.
expansion.
You just
Oh,
get the
that's cool.
expansion, and that's like I like that model. They're obviously doing it because it's
That's
fun.
that's the old school model right there.
Yeah.
Well, that and as you create more content, when somebody like, there's been plenty of games where somebody told me about it, and oh yeah, I'll check it out. You don't check it out. Then they mention it 3 or 4 more times. Okay, you finally check it out. You're like, this looks interesting. Doesn't look like there's that much. If you were to finally hear about this game and there's 4 expansions that are all free and you're only dropping $5, you go, well, there's plenty of content there.
Yeah. It's
kind of the
Even if there already is, you,
That's akin to why the Humble Bundle is great. It's like I wouldn't normally buy one of these games for this, but fuck, I'll spend the extra. Like I'll spend
like-
$10 for
It's like
like
this-
15.
it's like the super couponers. I would never buy 500 jars of ketchup, but it's free. I have the coupons.
the one key to Legend Dungeon though, you can't play it co-op. Like you play the 4-player mode.
There
and
are
it's
4 people on the
co-op,
screen.
but you do not try to help each other.
Why?
Because
it's
they
a
will
lot more
F you.
fun. They basically said it's a beat 'em up roguelike. So the idea is you're supposed to fuck over your friends.
One of the things is when
Like,
you
that's
die,
the whole point of it.
it
Like,
has a
some
very
dude
Diablo
pushed me
thing,
into
and when you
lava.
die, all your stuff just drops, and you have to come back and get it. But other people can just run over and take your shit.
Yeah, so they can
In that
regenerate
sense-
you, but if they want your stuff, they kill you. Then take your
I
stuff
noticed,
and
Like
regenerate
one
you.
little bastard pushed the three of
Yeah,
us
yeah.
into the lava at the end there.
You came down, and then it was a bridge with T sections, like 3 T sections, and then just lava pits in between. So it's just you're gonna fall in if you're not careful.
Well, it didn't help that
And
my
he
guy was
just-
hammered,
He got
too.
way out. He got way out in front of everybody, killed everything, then started running back and just knocking people off. And then Billy goes trying to run away, and then ends up like cornering himself with nothing but freaking lava behind
So
him.
basically, this fourth person that you guys are playing with was a boss, and he was just shitting on you guys, and you guys are just trying to
Little
escape
do we
his
know,
wrath.
he's been playing it all weekend,
Yeah.
and he's just like, "This is the perfect room to kill him
Yeah.
all in." I already.
You're not safe anywhere.
This is the
even in
perfect
tavern.
procedurally generated room to kill all these
This
people.
looks very similar, but not exactly the same as another room where I did this to somebody.
The guy, even in the tavern, though, the guy was
God.
like, because he didn't want to have to restart the game again. He was like, don't hit the guys, don't hit the guys. No, I don't want to have to restart the game. They will fuck you up. Don't restart it. It's like,
Apparently they
that's
attack
awesome.
you.
Like,
It
even in
comes
the
back.
tavern in the beginning, you can screw yourself over.
That's pretty awesome. But overall, it was a pretty awesome weekend.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tiring, but very
Huge thanks to
very
Arcade
awesome.
for those media passes.
Yeah.
That's really the one shout out I guess we did.
We'll be
Thank you, PAX.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bax. That was a hell of an experience. I'd be interested to know what the attendee account was.
Max.
Oh, oh,
Is any an amount?
any of that, yeah. It was intense.
All right, we will be doing this again next week. We're trying to get a special guest.
Let's
By
not
special
even.
guest,
Let's not
possibly-
mention a name in case it doesn't
Yeah.
happen.
No,
so
we're not
nobody
name
will-
dropping.
Yeah.
We're just
Yet.
trying to get special guests.
Yes.
Faked.
Yeah,
Alright.
Potential special guests
people
coming up.
slightly
You can
more,
decide how
people a lot
special
more
when we
famous
name
than
them.
us that you've never heard of.
Yeah.
So,
You've never heard of them, but we just heard of them
They're
this weekend.
important.
so we'll see you next week.
Adios.
Later.
Laters.